What's up, bud? It's Rob. This is Apparel Success. And in this video right now, what I want to talk to you about is why it's so hard to create a successful clothing brand. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. It is very difficult to create a successful clothing brand. And this video is really going to leave you with the slight advantage over other clothing brands that are just starting up right now. Apparel Success is sponsored by my buds over at Design Crowd, and I'm telling you, if you need designs made for your clothing brand, you should seriously check them out. I have a project up on there right now for my own clothing brand. I use them all the time, and they're amazing if you're looking for very specific designs for your clothing brand. So pop open a new tab, head over to designcrowd.com/apparel to learn about the $100 VIP offer that I have for you, or simply use the discount code APPAREL when you post a project on Design Crowd. All right, here's why creating a successful clothing brand is very hard right now. There's a very, very low barrier to entry, which means that it's very easy for somebody to start up a clothing brand right now. And that means that there's more competition because the barrier to entry is so low. And this high level of competition makes it much harder for you to stand out and much harder for you to compete amongst all the other clothing brands that exist out there. You can imagine a world where you literally are the only clothing brand that exists. You're the only brand that is literally putting clothes on people. Everybody would be going to you. But because the market is so saturated, it makes it very difficult for you to stand out, very difficult for you to become successful because that barrier to entry is so low. It's very similar to the amount of people that are trying to become rappers, successful musicians. The barrier to entry is so low that there are so many different people trying to do it. And that fact, when the barrier to entry is low with anything, it makes it much more competitive and much harder to rise to the top. What this also means though is that if you're somehow able to find a unique angle and rise through the competition and really elevate yourself through this hierarchy of all these other clothing brands, that the rewards that you will reap from doing this will be huge. It's almost like Drake becoming a huge rapper or Nike becoming the big clothing brand, right? If you're able to separate yourself from all of the other brands out there in a low barrier to entry industry, you're going to become basically like a world-renowned thing and really, really dominate. It's very similar to what Gary Vaynerchuk's doing with the self-development place that Tony Robbins used to really kind of own, and now Gary Vaynerchuk's sort of taken over that. And it's the same thing because everybody can hop on YouTube here. Everybody can just basically give advice, and the barrier to entry is so low. Anybody can hop on YouTube, make YouTube videos giving advice, that if you're able to actually rise through all that and be one of them that, you know, people are just really jumping on and really finding valuable, that you'll just absolutely skyrocket through everybody and really achieve a level of success that is just way beyond anything that anybody else is achieving. So it's hard, all right? It's like really, really hard to create a successful clothing brand. So if you're not successful right now, that makes sense, okay? Like it makes sense that you're not successful yet if you haven't, really gone through a serious battle and a serious struggle and are doing something really unique with a process that really, really works, and that's something that's like really, really cutting through all the other clutter out there of clothing brands. It's extremely hard to achieve success unless you're doing that, okay? So I see people posting in the closed Facebook group all the time, which you can join. There's a link in the description below, that, I need help with sales. Anybody have any sales tips? I'm kind of struggling, which is completely fine. I love it when people ask for, advice or they need help because, how do you learn otherwise? At the same time though, it's like there's no little thing that you can do that will just like all of a sudden, make your clothing brand successful in one night. Or like, this is the one thing I needed to change. Great, now I'm successful and the clothing brand's just gonna be successful for the rest of my life and I don't need to worry about it. It's this thing that takes such a grind. Like it's really, really a deep grind and really a deep battle. And you have to understand how social proof works on such a deep level and integrate that into your clothing brand really almost religiously. Because if you're not doing that intensely, like if you're not trying to get onto celebrities and influencers in your space religiously, like really hardcore, then you're going to struggle to sell your clothing. Also, if you're not going deep into your brand concept and really trying to understand exactly what your brand's about and how exactly it's going to relate to your audience so that they get that right connection that really lines up with them in a unique way that hasn't been done before, then you're going to struggle, okay? And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I think that this will give you the advantage, right? Most people, the reason why they aren't successful is simply because they're naive. They don't understand that it's hard. And so they start something, they're like, oh, well, this should just take off because, I kind of feel entitled inside that, this should just work out for me. And what they end up realizing is that, they launch their brand and it's not working, and then they blame the marketplace, they blame other people, rather than saying, I haven't put in the work yet. I don't understand what people really want and what I have to offer. I wouldn't buy if I was looking at somebody else's brand. So the benefit that you're getting out of watching this video right now is that you are no longer going to be naive to this, right? You understand that you have to work hard. You understand that it's not just going to come to you, and that you need to put certain things in place, and that you need to execute. And the beautiful part is that if you actually do that, if you work really hard, if you're really strategic, and you do that for a long enough amount of time and you're patient enough, you actually have a chance at becoming successful. You actually have a chance at making this work and getting some significant results. When you read the title of this video about it being hard to create a successful clothing brand, you may think that I'm trying to deter you and discourage you from trying to go for it. And that's not at all what this is. This is really a motivator for you, right? I'm trying to light a fire under you to see everything for what it is and how difficult it really is, so that you can understand the type of effort that you need to put into it and the type of grind that you need to enter into and the mode that you need to enter into, so that you can actually get the results that you're trying to get with your clothing brand. And I believe in you. I think that you can definitely do this, okay? Like, this isn't something that I'm trying to say, it's so hard, don't do it. I really do believe in you. You just need to really understand what needs to be done here. And the things that I teach on this channel, and I'm not just saying this to sort of boast myself, about social proof, getting onto influencers, how important all this is in terms of building your brand value. I only have 11,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel right now, and I think that I'm giving this information out to the group of you who are watching this, and I think this is really something that can give you a serious advantage over all these other clothing brands that are starting up right now who just do not understand this information. They don't value it enough, and they're not willing to put it in place for their own clothing brand, okay? So like, another huge advantage that you have is that you're understanding this stuff. You're taking this all in. And this is really going to help you when it comes to separating yourself from all the other clothing brands. It's really what has allowed me to separate myself from the other clothing brands in my space, is understanding how important social influence is, and sticking to a process and going deep inside the brand concept and really understanding how it's relating to my target audience, okay? And I think that you're going to be able to put this in place for your own clothing brand too, and I really hope that this gets you excited to do that and really focus on what matters and put in the effort that you need to in order to become successful. You've got this. You have everything that you need that other clothing brand owners don't have, and I believe in you. I think that you're going to absolutely be the one person who really takes this information and applies it and gets serious results. And knowing this stuff, they say the idle mind is the devil's playground. Knowing this stuff and not putting it into action will really just kind of weigh on you. And because you know this, definitely take action, put the stuff in place, and I'm excited to see where you end up. I hope you like this video here. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and drop your brand down there as well. I like to check out the brands that are watching, and check out my clothing brand marketing masterclass. It's 100% free to watch. All you have to do to get access is go to apparelsuccess.com/masterclass, and you can watch the whole thing for free. And if you've made it to this point in the video, I want to tell you about the closed Facebook group that we have going on for Apparel Success. There's a link in the description. Follow the link, join us in the group, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.